in regards to this whole like, oh, Crash 4 is erasing like all of like it's erasing all like the PS2 continuity. How could they? I have something I want to share. Okay, give me a sec. Okay, so let's. You're right. Ignoring the fact that it's already established and kind of implied that Crash 4 is setting up a multiverse where the other previous games, like all the PS2 era games, aren't necessarily being erased and or maybe just part of a different continuity or like a different universe. Let's just ignore that and let's pretend that Crash 4 actually did erase everything that happened after Crash 3. Like, let's pretend that Crash 4 actually is just like completely disregarding everything from the Wrath of Cortex, Twinsanity, Titans, and Mind Over Mutant. Because as far as I'm concerned, those are like the main games that are like canon. And then let's see this little excerpt from Wikipedia, that, by the way, is not a terrible resource because it cites its resources. In June 2013, co-creator Andy Gavin suggested ways to revitalize the series. Crash needs a total reboot. There's an opportunity to reset the history and go back to his creation story and original conflict with Cortex. In that context, you could reprise classic Crash 1 and 2 settings and villains. It would make sense to use a more modern free-roaming style. I would concentrate on Looney Tunes-esque animation, blah, 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 blah. In 2013, when Crash had been on hiatus for 5 years, Andy Gavin, one of the two people who created Crash Bandicoot, suggested they reboot it. He suggested that they reset the continuity and just start fresh. So if Andy Gavin, the creator of Crash Bandicoot, is okay with things being reset, why the fuck are so many other people not? It's really not a big deal. It really isn't. Like, it actually surprises me that people are this bent out of shape about it. It really doesn't matter. Like, I don't get it. I really don't get why people care so much about this. Yes, it can also just have two continuities. Like, the Crash series already has two different continuities. Like, there's, like, no reasonable way that the GBA titles are in the same continuity as, like, the main series consoles. Like, aside from, like from Wrath of Cortex, because obviously, like, Entrance has Crunch, like, it just doesn't line up. Like, the timeline just doesn't line up between, like, Huge Adventure Entrance and then, like, Twinsanity and, you know, like, Wrath of Cortex and shit. Like, it doesn't work. So there's never been a consistent continuity in Crash anyway. So why the fuck do people care? Yeah, it erases amazing lore, like Cortex is evil and he's trying to take over the world. Such deep lore in Crash Bandicoot. The deepest we got to lore in Crash Bandicoot was Twinsanity, and it's not even really that deep of lore. So, like, I don't know why people care so much. It's really, really stupid. And it's actually kind of starting to annoy me that people are so invested in it. Especially when, like half the time you mention Wrath of Cortex or Twinsanity, someone is like, oh, I hated that game. It was terrible. So why do you guys suddenly fucking care that it's gone? Like, God, people are stupid and just like to complain. I say as I'm complaining about people complaining, so I guess I'm hypocritical. Why is the load room not working? Oh, because I fucking reset the game, that's why. It shouldn't, Crody. I was just joking. But like, I don't know why people are so appalled that they're, lo and behold, they're continuing the story from the games that just came out. Like, can you imagine they remake like the Insane Trilogy and people love the Insane Trilogy and they're like, okay, we're gonna make this game. It's a sequel to Mind Over Mutant. Most people would probably say, what the fuck is Mind Over Mutant? And then you tell them and be like, oh, why the fuck are they doing that? Yo, Josh. Why did I fucking... I feel like it's hard to say CTR is, like, legitimately part of the canon. Like, it's so weird to fit CTR into it, because, like, it doesn't explain how Cortex returned. But they reference Oxide later on in the series. Like, basically, Crash has never had a consistent timeline, so, like, because it's like, lo and behold, it's like the one, it's like really low on the priority ladder. They always do that, Demon Lord. There's always pre-order bonuses. Yeah, like... I fucked up. There isn't even a huge amount of consistency between, like, C3 and Twalk. What? Oh, okay, no, you're saying C1, C2, C3, and then Twalk and Twins. Okay, yeah, I get it. I think they always plan on, like, the ending of 1, like, the secret ending not actually being canon. I mean, I feel like eventually the skins will be released publicly, Demon Lord, I'm assuming. Like, it'll be free for people who buy the game digitally, and then eventually it'll be available for purchase. That's how I assume it'll go down. Like, people are so fucking wrapped up about the fact that they're erasing Twalk. Like, why? It's really, like, the smallest deal. And I say this as somebody whose favorite game in the series is Crash Twinsanity. Like, I don't get why people care.